evening and good night to some of you. This is a very special broadcast, and of course, we must pray. And prayer we must, this very evening and always going forward. And I will pray in the language of heaven, because Chukwukika Abiyama is in control of all that we have been doing and will continue to do until Biafra is restored and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable zoological republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile Chukwukika Abiyama onye na-efewe n'aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị n'ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọbụla anyị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-etoghị, wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee eziokwu mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe. Agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-etoghị, wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ọ bụla anyị a na-azọpụta, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Hello. Welcome, 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 great and wonderful people. Thank you for joining me, Biafrans. Thank you for connecting wherever you're connecting from. Thank you so much. Thank you for connecting, great Biafrans, wherever you are joining across the world. We cannot be distracted. They are trying by all means possible to distract us, but we don't allow them to distract us. Don't get distracted. Do not get distracted. It doesn't matter what you hear, what you see. Don't get distracted. Yeah, you don't have to get distracted. Thank you for joining, and while you are joining, please share the video. Share it. It's going to be a quick one. Share the video to all platforms. Share it to your family and friends, well wishers. Let them join us. Let us share views as usual on the situation in the contraption called Nigeria. We must continue. It doesn't matter what they say, it doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter the angle they are coming from. We cannot stop. We'll keep talking. We'll keep talking until the last minute, until the right thing is being done. We continue to make our demands. We continue to make our demand for the right thing to be done. We will continue to speak up. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we will continue to speak up. Today, you all know that it's another day of sit at home. A day that we all have agreed on our own without being forced, that we will always remember and ask them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. A day we have to ask them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. And many Biafrans are observing that very seat at home. So many people are observing. Even though there are people who tend to not observe, but at least a good number of people are observing the seat at home. And that is a plus. And I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect everyone that is participating on that very seat at home. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and bless you, protect you. We will continue to speak up, air our opinion, and say it exactly the way it is, setting the record straight until Biafra comes. If you look at my topic there, I spoke about distraction. There is a lot of distraction in the struggle. The new strategy they are bringing now is to distract us. They are bringing a lot of distraction from all corners, from all angles, to distract us from the right thing. Those distractions we must not allow. We must not allow those distractions. For some few days now, I've been seeing some posts and some events happening on the social media. So many people have left the main thing we are supposed to be fighting for, and they are talking about issues that doesn't really matter. Issue that doesn't have anything to do with what we are talking about. You see people making some videos go viral. Biafrans, who are supposed to be fighting for their freedom. And let me tell you, everything that is worth doing well. And there is time for everything. For now, what has to matter for you and I as Biafran is our freedom. When the freedom of Biafra comes, so many things will be corrected by itself. When Biafra gains freedom, so many things by themselves will correct. There are certain things you cannot fight. As long as we are still in the contraption called Nigeria, there are some things you cannot fight. It doesn't matter the way you do it. It doesn't matter the way you say it. It doesn't matter how you are inspired in the issue. There are some things you cannot be able to change until you get out of Nigeria. And those things are the things we are not supposed to be wasting our time talking about. I'm talking about the issue that is reigning online. You see people sharing a video, posting a video of a pastor and somebody who is operating an NGO. The challenge between a pastor and whatever. You see people making it go viral. Some people say it's the right thing to do. He's doing the right thing. Well, I am going to say my own opinion. You might like it. You might not like it. There is time for everything. We have a very serious issue in our hand. We have a very serious issue in our hand. And that serious issue that we have in our hand is something that has to do with the freedom of Biafrans. And if we can get it right in fighting for Biafra and getting our own nation, so many things will be corrected. We all know there are fake people everywhere. Not just fake pastors. There are fake people everywhere, fake native doctors, fake traditional rulers, fake governors, fake commissioners. The only reason why we have all these fake people everywhere is because we are still in Nigeria. It is because we are in that contraption called Nigeria. That is why we have these fake people everywhere. And if you want to deal with these fake people and do away with them, you have to make sure you get out of Nigeria. That is the first thing to do. I am telling you, as soon as we get out of Nigeria, 99.9% of the problem you are seeing today, you will see them no more. But when you are running a system that supports corruption, a system that supports everything that is wrong, instead of you trying to get away from that system or break the system, you are choosing a fight for yourself. You choose a fight for yourself. At the end of the day, you get hurt or you destroy yourself. That is exactly what is going to happen. That is what's going to happen. And the most painful part is that this is distraction, not now. As we are speaking now, we are supposed to be talking about the freedom of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is being held in captive. That is what is supposed to be going viral, nothing else. The only thing I expect to go viral is the freedom of Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is the freedom of Biafra. But instead, we are focusing on things that doesn't really make a sense. There is time for everything. There is time for everything. When you are talking about fake this, fake that, they are everywhere. You and I know that, and you can't stop it as long as you remain in that contract called Nigeria, because Nigeria itself supports such evil. The Nigerian system supports the evil. This is not the time to distract us. You call yourself a Biafran, you live things that matters, and you are talking about irrelevant things. Some of you will say, it is important, all of them are fraud, all this one. There is time for everything. Yes. You will first of all get your land before you think of building on it. And now we are fighting for our land, Biafra. We are supposed to be focused. It is so sad and so shameful that you see people who are fighting for freedom, who claim to be fighting for Biafra, claim to fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They had a full program on this. People who claim to be fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they invited the person, made it a full program on their show. Some of them have not hosted a full program about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Many of them, ask them, when was the last time they hosted a full program on the release of our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally? So many people who are projecting the issue of claiming to fight a pastor or not fighting a pastor have not talked about what matters. The only thing that is holding everybody captive, including the pastors themselves, the only thing that is supporting them and making them do what they do is because we are in Nigeria. Nigeria is a fraudulent country that supports everything evil. And as long as we remain in Nigeria, any separate fight that you're choosing your own fight is a waste of time. As a Biafran, you don't have to choose any fight. The only fight that a Biafran has to choose is the fight of freedom. Fight to finish. Fight for your freedom. The freedom of the Biafrans is the only fight that we have to choose as Biafrans. That is the only fight. And that is the only fight we have to make go viral. The release, unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only thing that is supposed to be on the front burner. You see, the distraction is so much. They are bringing distraction. You see, very soon, we are getting into 2022. And they will start election. 2022 now, they will start making campaign for the election. This is reality. You will see so many people who claim to be fighting for freedom, who claim to be fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They will begin to convert their platform to a political platform where they will be talking about elections. You will see people, you will see them trying to force the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of the internet by all means possible, and we will not allow them. We can't allow them. This is why you have to learn how to stand on your own now. This is not the time for you to talk about irrelevant things. Let me tell you, it is crystal clear that when Biafra comes, when Nigeria is being disintegrated, every evil in Nigeria will run away. Every evil will run away. You don't need to tell somebody where to go or where not to go. There will be a constitution that protects every single person in Nigeria, in Biafra, when Biafra comes. When Biafra comes, there will be a rule of order. There will be a constitution that protects every single Biafran, wherever they are. Whatever you want to do. You want to be a pastor, you want to be a native doctor, you want to be a traditional ruler, you want to be whatever you want to be, there will be a guideline on what you do and what you will not do. That is how a sane country is being run. That is why when you go to foreign countries, Europe and America and everything, they have a system that controls everything that people are doing. Nobody has to come knocking on your door or begin to shout on you or talk down on you. The system is here to checkmate you in anything you are doing. But in the contraption called Nigeria, the system is so rotten that the only thing you can do to correct all this nonsense you people are making go viral is to fight for your freedom. Fight for Biafra. Support the fight for Biafra. Fight for it with the last drop of your blood, with all your strength. If you do that, every other thing will take its shape. Every other thing will take shape. And this is the absolute truth. I'm not here to say something that will make you happy or to say something that will make you feel loved. No. But I'm telling you reality. I am speaking reality. We have a very serious issue in our hand. The freedom of the people of Biafra. It's a very serious issue on the front burner. And when we are talking about the freedom of Biafra, we're talking about the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been held captive in the DSS. Today is a day that people are supposed to be sitting at home to request his unconditional release, because we know that the so-called political solution they are talking about, we have not seen it working. We have not seen anything yet. Yes, we saw them, they went to visit Buhari, then what? We saw them when they went to visit Buhari, then what? After visiting Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation came out and said, there is nothing like releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on their table. There is nothing, so no such discussion is being made. And what do? You begin to dance around and begin to play around and begin to leave what you are doing. You don't have to. What you have to do is to intensify anything you are doing. Whatever you know you can do to make sure that our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released unconditionally, that is what you are supposed to be doing. That is what you are supposed to do. It is not the time to play. It's not the time to play. But you see these people coming from all angles to come and hijack the situation. When we are supposed to be making the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the frontline issue of discussion, we allow ourselves to be distracted. We allow ourselves to be distracted with issues that will take care of themselves as soon as we get out of this contraption called Nigeria. Some issues will take care of themselves. You are fighting against one pastor and you're making it go viral. How many of such pastors have you seen in the past? How many of such fights have you seen in the past? People have lost their life fighting this battle. People have lost their life carelessly fighting this issue of battle of a pastor or whatever. But I tell you, when Biafra comes, you don't need to fight for such battle. Everything will take its shape. When Biafra, don't distract us. Do not distract us with such kind of word. And if you call yourself a freedom fighter, focus on that very enemy. Focus on the enemy, the Fulani Janjaweed, the Fulani cabal. They are the real enemy that we are fighting against. The Fulani cabal, they are trying by all means of possible to bring some topic to distract us. Every year, every month, every week, you see one different topic that will bring to distract us from what we are talking about. Don't be distracted. What we are talking against is the Fulani Janjaweed occupation of the indigenous tribes. The Fulani Janjaweed occupation of Nigeria, that is what we are talking about. The Fulani terrorists that are killing people, that is what we are talking about. How are we going to save ourselves from their hand? It is a fight for every single living human being in that very country called Nigeria. A fight for Christians, a fight for Muslims, a fight for Hindus, a fight for any tribe you can think of. So long you are indigenous, it is your fight on how to set ourselves free from the captivity of the Fulani Janjaweed that are killing people. Don't get us distracted. You call yourself a Biafran fighting for freedom, and you will be the one they will use to distract your people. Go and check all internet. Even people who have not shared the video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu one day, people who have not spoken about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a very long time, they are now talking about a fraudulent pastor. They are now talking about fake miracle and good miracle. They are talking about good miracle and fake miracle, making it go viral. What a nonsense. Absolute rubbish. That is a useless fight you are fighting. Very, very useless. Focus on the main enemy. The main enemy we have is the Fulani Janjaweed and the Caliphate. If you can be able to bring down the Fulani Janjaweed and the Caliphate, every other thing will take shape. You don't need to struggle for it. A country that doesn't have a constitution, it is because the country is rotten without a constitution and it supports everything evil. That is why the evil that is happening in that contraption is happening. That is why it is happening. And there is nothing you can do about it except you get out of there, break up that very contraption. That is the only thing to do. But instead of you adding your voice to break that contraption up, you are busy distracting people, bringing unnecessary issues and topic. Bringing unnecessary issues and topic. You see people who call themselves Biafra agitator. Biafra agitator use their platform to a whole program, a full program. You are talking about a pastor with a fake miracle. What would that, if Jeremiah stopped making miracle today or stop doing what he's doing today, if he stopped doing it, will your situation change? Your situation cannot change. Your situation will not change. And you and I, there is no single person in the planet Earth that doesn't know there is good and bad everywhere. We have common sense. Chukwu Okike Abiyama have given us knowledge. If anybody in this planet Earth, in this generation, in this 21st century, tells me that he or she is being deceived by a pastor, you just deserve it. Don't tell me you are being deceived by anybody. Because the whole fact that you need to know they are there. We know what is good and what is bad. Chukwu Okike Abiyama has given us that common sense to design. When you leave your house, you walk into a place, you're going to somebody to pray for you, and the person you are asking to pray for you will tell you something that you know that it is not possible, and you believe it. You don't have a job. Somebody will promise you that he's not telling you to go and look a job. And somebody will be promising you and tell you that God will bless you. He will do this for you. He will do that for you. Meanwhile, you don't have a job. You don't have a plan. There is no plan whatsoever. You don't even have a handwork. And you are looking for miracle money from heaven, from where? Are you not a fool? Are you not the one deceiving yourself? It is your greed that is pushing you. And when you see somebody that is sick who is looking for healing, there are certain sickness that you have that you must have to see a doctor. And there are certain times you will be sick. Even after seeing a doctor will advise you to go and seek a spiritual help. Doctors in several locations have seen doctors advising people to go and seek for a spiritual help, including Oyibo doctor that you respect. So, if some people decide to use that advantage against you, you left them for yourself. If you are sick, the very first thing to do is to go to the hospital and diagnose and know what is wrong with you. That is the very first thing to do. But as you go for the diagnosis, if the result doesn't come out the way you want, or most times, in most cases, you see doctors advising people, go and seek for a spiritual help that can help you. It happens. So, we always know human beings, more especially blacks, for what they are. They can cash in every opportunity to begin to use that advantage of people against people. If you allow yourself to be abused and used, it is your own personal business. You'll sold yourself out. You don't have to distract us because of that. Don't. The world has become so civilized that the most uneducated person knows the right thing to do. The most uneducated person now knows the right thing to do. Unless those who has refused to listen, who has intentionally sold their soul to the devil. So, we don't want any distraction in this very struggle. The only thing that has to matter for you and I am speaking about this distraction because this is the ploy of the Janjaweed. The Janjaweed are using this distraction. Every day they will bring one story. We will forget what we are talking about and begin to talk about things that are irrelevant. Today, nobody is speaking about the Fulani terrorists that are killing people. Have you ever asked yourself, where are the Fulani herdsmen that have been killing people in Benue State? Killing people in Kaduna State? Killing people in Enugu State? Where are those Fulani herdsmen? Why are they not talking about them? Have you asked yourself, each time you come and you are watching their conventional media, how many times do you see them speak about the Fulani killer headers? You think they have disappeared? Oh, they just woke up and disappear. But you are still hearing about that. This is the distraction. They have distracted you and kept you busy with the issue of blackmailing ESN. They are busy blackmailing ESN. Even some of you are helping them to blackmail ESN. Then while we are busy defending ourselves, defending ESN, they are introducing other methods. Even using us to bring irrelevant topics. So many distractions. Sometimes they bring a topic and make us to begin to fight against ourselves. You will see people who are supposed to be fighting for freedom, fighting against themselves. Speaking against themselves, speaking against people who are adding meaning to the struggle. They will take it as their own point of duty. You will go to their topic. Every time you see them, they write a topic against their own brother. Ask me, what has the person done? Go and check the platform of that person and find out. You will find out that the person have not done anything wrong. Is either because he or she asked a question that they refuse to provide an answer to. Now, they demonize the person. Either they call you a saboteur or give you a name, and then this distraction continues. I am telling you, watch out. We are heading to 2022, and you know their election period is starting. They will start campaign. If care is not taken by 2022, you will not be hearing the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu online. They are going to distract us and make sure You don't hear the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu online. Already they have started producing all manner of topics for them. Producing all manner of irrelevant topics. When the Fulani heard that the killer Fulanis are still parading everywhere in the bushes, killing innocent people, destroying lives. Their media will never report it. Nobody's going to talk about it. Their so-called whatever, even some of us who call ourselves freedom fighters, they don't, some of them, they have lacked topic that is either they discuss their own brother or they are discussing about irrelevant things. Just like the video I'm talking about that is going viral about a pastor who performed a miracle. There are things that will take shape by itself. There are problems that will solve itself. The major problem we have that we're looking at is the freedom of Biafra, which is the freedom of every indigenous tribe in that country of Nigeria. As soon as Biafra is free, every other person will be free. And when you get out of Nigeria, so many evil we are seeing in Nigeria today, you will see them no more. So many evil that you are seeing in Nigeria today, you will see them no more. There are fake people everywhere. Fake people, they are everywhere. Fake people. There are fake Biafrans, fake freedom fighters. There are fake pastors, fake reverend, fake imam, fake everywhere, fake governors, fake commissioners, fake lawmakers, fake military, fake police. Everything in Nigeria is fake. Even the contraption itself is fake. It's fake. Nigeria itself is fake. There is nothing like one Nigeria. So how can you be able to be trying to get something that is right in this same evil that you know that is incorrect? The only way you can be able to solve the solution is to get out of that very evil. If you get out of that evil, then you can now begin to talk. So many things will solve itself. I tell you, so many things will solve itself. When you get out of this very evil contraption called Nigeria, so many things will take shape by itself. You don't even need to fight it. You don't need to speak about it. When you have a system that satisfies everybody, when you have a very good healthcare system, when you have a very good healthcare system in a country where the poor and the rich goes, once you are sick, you will see ambulance on your doorstep. People don't need to wait. Once you are sick, all you have to do is to dial the number. Once you dial the number, you see ambulance on your doorstep to pick you and go to the hospital. In such cases, do you think that people will begin to go around to pastor and look for who will give them healing? They wouldn't do so. They will know the right thing to do. Call a number. Call a number. They will come and pick you and go to the hospital. That is why we are asking for independent nation of Biafra, so that we can build a sane nation. When a sane nation is built and people are sane, you cannot be talking of miracle. You can't be confusing people with miracle of healing. I am not saying that God doesn't heal. God heals people. That is absolute truth. If anybody is telling you that God doesn't heal, it is that person is just wasting his or her own time. We know that God heals. Chukwu Okike Abịama heals people. Chukwu Okike Abịama heals people, and doctors confirm it. In most cases, when you are sick, go to the doctor. Doctor sometimes prescribe you and tell you to go to the traditional people to go and take care of you. Doctor will tell you go spiritual to know what is wrong with you. They have not seen anything. It happens, and somebody will come and begin to deny this. Up to the extent of making a problem, then you will expect people to begin to dance and follow you and make people to begin to show pity on you when you call the problem for yourself. When you invited problem to your own doorstep. Do not distract us. Don't distract us. And the funniest thing is these are people who have not spoken about Biafra. They are not fighting about the issue of Biafra. They have not even spoken about the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But somebody will come on his platform and make it a full program to begin to talk about irrelevant things. Things you know that you can never change. As long as we remain in Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about that. As long as Biafrans remain in Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. You can't change anything. You are just wasting your time. You only make noise. After making your noise, you go back to your home and sit. But the only thing that is going to change the whole status quo, change it by all means possible, is when people begin to do it right. Speak when you need to speak. Fight for that collective freedom of every single indigenous person in that country called Nigeria. That is what we're supposed to do. Free ourselves from the bondage. The collective freedom of every single person that is existing in that country called Nigeria. That is what you have to ask for. And when you get that, every other thing follows. Every other thing follows suit. There are things, just like the Christians used to say, there are some some prayers that cannot be answered except with fasting and except with fasting. That's how they say it. They say this one cannot go except with fasting. The kind of evil in Nigeria, the kind of evil we have in Nigeria cannot go away except you break it up. It can't go away. It is just like people who are talking about voting. They will tell you to go and vote. Go and get your PVC and vote. When you vote the right person, and then things will change. Things will never change. It doesn't matter who you vote in the contemporary of Nigeria, as long as that person is coming in. Go and bring Jesus Christ. Go and bring whoever you think that is most sane. Go to heaven and bring an angel. Bring an angel to make a president of Nigeria. It can never, ever work because the foundation is faulty. When you go and bring that person, the person will still be playing the script of the Janjaweed. Anybody you bring will be playing the script of the Janjaweed. That is what our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have seen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have searched all this. I have told you before. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followed all the procedure. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fought for one Nigeria. Tried to talk to them to make sure the one Nigeria works. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, make one Nigeria work for everybody. He protested in London for one Nigeria. It couldn't work. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came down and joined the politics. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a member of APGA. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a member of APGA, thinking that because our eternal leader established APGA, then it might work from there. What did they happen? APGA was destroyed. Today you see APGA party was even the ones that we are boasting of putting the Janjaweed in their own government, putting the terrorists in their government. A governor came out to tell us a renowned terrorist that we know, Mieti Allah groups, are in his government. Speaks and praise the terrorists. And that same governor is the person that will come and talk down on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, talk down on the member of his IPOB, destroy his own people, and invite the military to kill his own people. You see why it can never work. As long as they remain in that contract, every other thing is a waste of time. We have to put this strength, channel this strength to the real enemy, the Fulani Janjaweed. Channel your strength to the real enemy. Don't waste your strength. Stop wasting your time and wasting your strength. Channel your energy to the real enemy. You and I know who the real enemy is. We know who the real enemy is. The real enemy is nobody but the Fulani Janjaweed, the killer herdsmen, the Fulani terrorists. Fulani, call them by their name. It is not a hate speech. Don't be scared and say somebody will say you're making. It is not a hate speech. You are making a statement of fact. If somebody said it is not Fulani terrorists, go and tell me. The Fulani terrorists you have in Nigeria, where are they from? All the terrorists you have in Nigeria, who established them? Where are they? Who are their leaders? Go and check. Go and check. Their leaders are all from the north. Fulanis. Fulanis are the leaders. They are the leaders. And since Fulani have succeeded in capturing their so-called Asorok, today you can see that Asorok is supporting terrorism by all means possible. And it is not a hate speech. It is not a propaganda. It's a statement of fact. Asorok is supporting terrorism. Every weapon you see these killer headers, these they are terrorists, Fulani terrorists. Every weapon you see them holding, every weapon the Fulani terrorists are using, they rename them to be bandits. But we know they are Fulani terrorists. They are the Fulani terrorists. The same thing with the Boko Haram. They are the same. Every weapon they are using today, they got it from Nigerian government. Every weapon they are using, go and check, verify by yourself. They got it from Nigerian government. And it is not a propaganda. These are facts that are online. You Google them, you will see these facts. They are there looking at you, staring at you. Every weapon you see them using, they got it from the enemy. They got it from Nigerian government. Nigerian government supply it to them. Up to the extent of having APC, armor tank. Boko Haram, even these bandits have armor tank. They have propelled grenades. They have anti-aircraft missiles. Remember last time, the federal government went and they said that we are going to pay them money to take back some of the anti-aircraft missiles that they gave them. How do they get their hand on anti-aircraft missiles? Most of these weapons we are saying are not imported. They got it from Nigeria. It is Nigerian government that bring them, leave their armory open, and these people will go and take them. They are the people supplying them. Look at the people. Go to the social media. You see the whole people who have been arrested, who are supplying Boko Haram and these bandits. They are getting their supply from the military, Nigerian government. And what is the government doing? Instead of Nigeria fighting against them, what they will do is to sponsor these terrorists by promoting them, paying ransom to them. Do you know how many billions have been paid to these very terrorists, all in the name of kidnapping? Do you know how many billions have been paid? Recently, they released the Christian they kidnapped from Kaduna. Do you know how many billions that were paid for them before they released them? And it is somebody that is collecting this ransom. Somebody is collecting this ransom. They are using an account to collect this ransom. Somebody is speaking up for them. Somebody is their spokesperson, defending them on a daily basis. Yet, the government doesn't go after that person. The government never go after that person. They know where the bandits are. You see the bandits every time they kidnap, they release a video of the people they are holding. They sit down very comfortable and release a video. And be waiting for their ransom to be paid. And in most cases, you see that ransom being paid. You see the ransom being paid to them. What does that tell you? That your government is supporting terrorism. They are not standing for you. If you think they are standing for you, they are not standing for you. They are not standing for you. They are standing there for their own selfish interests and for their own good, not for your own good. And they will do everything possible to make sure you do not succeed in what you are doing. They will make sure you don't succeed. You think they are fighting for you? They're not going to fight for you. They can't do anything for you. As long as you remain in this very contraption called Nigeria, you can never know peace and you can never know progress. I'm not just saying it's not a cause. This is something that a senator have said in their senate. A country that promotes everything that is evil. This is why we are saying that Biafrans have to get out of that very country called Nigeria. Not only Biafrans, the Ududu ones are also preparing to get out. The Middle Belters are getting out. This is why the agitation is increasing. And this is why you have to sit at home every Monday. Some people who care, who know what is happening, are already sitting at home. Today is Monday. People are sitting at home on their homes. Nobody is forcing you and nobody is enforcing it. On your own, the right thing to do. For those who care about their future and the future of their unborn children. This is the right thing to do. To ask and demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You don't have to be begged. Nobody has to beg you. Nobody has to call you. Nobody has to force you to do it. It is the right thing to do. When you are sitting at home fighting for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are equally fighting for your own life. You are fighting for your own self. You are not just fighting for him. You are fighting for yourself. If you choose not to fight, it is up to you. But we will continue to talk. We will continue to fight. We will continue to talk and speak up. Speak up. Say it the way it is. It doesn't really matter if you believe or you don't believe. It's just your own business. Nobody's going to force you to do what you don't want to do. Every one of us have a responsibility to do what is right. We have that common sense. Only that the common sense is not common these days. Beware of distraction. Beware of distraction. Distraction is the ploy of the janjaweed. Be focused on the real enemy. The real enemy of the people. The real enemy of the indigenous tribes in that contraption called Nigeria. The real enemy is the foreigners who have penetrated into that very contraption called Nigeria. The foreigners who came from the Sahel. The Fulani janjaweed. The Fulani terrorists, they are the real enemy. They are. And it's not a hate speech. It is not a hate speech. It's a statement of fact. That is why we can be able to be bold and say it wherever we are, in any part of the world. That is why our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was bold to make that message go viral. Preach that message in London. He was in London preaching this message for how many years? He was never invited one day by any police or any army. He was never investigated. He traveled all over the world. He was never arrested. Because he was making a statement of fact that the killers, the people who have sworn that the people contraption called Nigeria will not know peace, are the Fulani janjaweed. They are the real enemy. Don't get yourself distracted. They are bringing up their policy. I'm telling you, by next year, if we Biafrans do not wake up, if those who call themselves freedom fighters do not focus, by next year, you will see campaign. Campaign will overshadow what you're talking about. Campaign will overshadow, campaign of their 2023 will overshadow what we are talking about. But Chukwu Okike Abiyama will not allow that. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will not allow them. It doesn't matter how they try. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will never allow them. Will never allow them. We have to continue to be focused and think of that which is right. The real enemy we have are the Fulani Janjaweed, and they are terrorists. They are terrorists. They are the people who have sworn that they want to kill the Ijos, kill the Yorubas, kill the Hausas. And they are the people doing all the killing everywhere. They are the people. They are the people who are perpetrating all the evil you can think of. Every terrorist organization run in Nigeria is being run by these very Fulanis. And the international community cannot help you if you don't help yourself. The international community cannot help you if you don't help yourself. You see, because of the silence of the so-called Christians, these people who are claiming to be Christians, who claim to know all, because of their silence, that is why the name of Nigeria was removed from among the countries that are intimidating and Christians. That is why the name of Nigeria was removed among the countries that are persecuting Christians, persecuting people because of their religion. United States removed it because of the stupidity of those who call themselves GOs, pastors and whatever. Their stupidity made it possible. Their stupidity made it possible that the name of Nigeria will be removed. Will be removed among those who are persecuting Christians. When you and I know that Nigeria is the most dangerous place for Christians. Even a report, the investigation journalists have released a report in that same US, in that same United States. They are the one that told us after the investigation that Nigeria is the most dangerous place for a Christian to be. And yet, they went and removed the name of Nigeria because your own people who are supposed to speak are not speaking. Huh? People who are not supposed to speak are not speaking. You cannot cry more than the bereaved. You can't cry more than the bereaved. The person who has the problem is not talking. Is it you that will be talking? You see, Obadiah Melafia came and called for 1 week sit-at-home prayer. None of them listened. None of those pastors or reverends talked about it in their church. They kept silent, and Obadiah was killed. And today, nobody's talking about Obadiah. The only thing we saw was that Nigerian name have been removed. And after Nigerian name have been removed, they are so-called cults. They called CAN. Christian Association of Nigeria, that is a cult group. That doesn't support anything, that doesn't stand for anything that is right. That was when they came out to issue a statement. That was the only time they came out to issue a statement. But all this while, why didn't you keep that tempo high? Why didn't you keep that tempo high and continue to tell the world what is happening? Continue to make noise and shout on top of it. Don't tell me that the world are seeing it, they are watching. Of course they see it, they are watching. But if you don't act, they are not going to act. This is the reason why the Biafrans are shouting on a daily basis. This is why Biafrans are shouting and crying on a daily basis on top of their voices. It's not that the world is not seeing what is happening. They are seeing it, but if you do not act, and do something, they will not do either. If you don't act, they will not act either. And that is the reason why everybody is speaking up, doing what they are supposed to do. That is why Biafrans are not speaking. Some of you have seen Biafrans as noisemakers, people who like trouble. Yes, call us troublemaker, call us whatever, but we cannot be silent. We will continue to speak and fight for our freedom until the day we become free. If you become silent, nobody's going to speak for you. This is the reason why you see United States remove the name of Nigeria. Remove Nigeria from one of the most terrorized countries for Christians. Even when you know that Nigeria is the third most terrorized country, third terrorist country you can think of the world. It's in their record. They are still the one that brought that statistic. The number 3 most terrorized country in the world, Nigeria. And yet, because we were not doing the needful, Nigeria, we are able to smuggle out their name. And you know that the Fulani Janjaweed can pay any amount. They can pay anything. After all, the money doesn't belong to them. They are taking the money from Biafra land. They are using money from Biafra land to buy lobbyists, to pay people, to bribe people, to make sure that our voice is not heard. And you are there getting distracted. You think that the fight we are fighting is a child's play. It is not a child's play. That's why I say people to go and listen to the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In one of his messages, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talked at a stage. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you, if you think that the people we are fighting are just ordinary people, you are a joker. If you think that the struggle for Biafra is a small fight, you are a joker. We are fighting against the richest companies you can think in the world. Those are the people we are fighting. We are fighting against the international community. We are fighting against the world powers. Those are the people we are fighting against because they have interest in that Janjaweed government. And every corruption that is happening in Nigeria is benefiting them. Every corruption that is happening in that country called Nigeria is benefiting them. The only way you can move their hand to act is by making a hell of noise. Continue to shout. Let the ordinary people continue to see you and follow you to share. Make your voice heard and go viral. Viral about the demons that are in that very country called Nigeria, not about a pastor. It's not about a pastor. When you break up that contraption called Nigeria, break it up. When we break it up and destroy it, everything will be in place. Every other thing will take shape. You don't need to fight. You don't need to fight. There are some fights you don't need to fight. Focus on the real enemy, the Fulani Janjaweed. I tell you, if Biafra comes today, there will be laws in place. If you are an imam, or you are a pastor, or you are a traditional ruler, or a traditional whatever, a traditional worshipper, there will be a law that will guide you in everything you do. And as soon as you deviate from that law, you face the consequence. And when we have a government system where you will have good hospital, you have a good hospital, you have a number to call when you are sick, you will dial that number, ambulance will be on your doorstep to pick you up. Why will you bother yourself thinking of who prays and who doesn't pray? Your only prayer will be to pray for the doctors to be strong and be there all the time for you. You only pray for the doctors and pray for your government. But in a situation where nothing works, where a poor person is sick and the poor person knows that he or she doesn't have money, he doesn't have anybody to speak for him, and the only way out is to hand over everything to God. In such a situation, there is nothing you can do. Anytime a poor person is sick, they will always talk about God and they will go to church and lie down. They will go to church and lie down because they don't have the money to buy the medicine. They don't have anybody to help them. They don't have anybody to speak to them. No ambulance whatsoever. No hospital will even admit them. They resign to their fate. But when you have a system that is working, where you know that when you go to the hospital, a doctor will attend to you. That when you are sick, if you dial a number, you see ambulance immediately will come there. When you have a problem, you dial 911. Within the next few minutes, you see police. When a house is burning, within the few minutes, you dial a number. You see the fire brigade will be there. In such system, people cannot be distracted. But in a country where something doesn't work, it is only in Nigeria you will see a house burning. A house burning, you see people gathering and they will be praying for the house to quench. A fire in a house that you see, that fire brigade will just come and use their water to quench it. Instead of a Nigerian calling the fire service, they will begin to pray for the water to quench by itself. They'll begin to pray. Do you blame them? You don't blame them because they are helpless. They are helpless. They resign to prayer. When we see such video, we say these people are stupid. They are not okay. But you don't blame them. If they call the fire service will not come. Most of the time, when you see fire service come, when they come, there is no water in their tank. In such kind of a system, how can you stop people from being foolish? You can't stop them. People will always resign their faith to God when they don't have any solution at hand. They don't have any solution. What do you want them to do? A poor person that is sick, that doesn't have somebody who will take care of him or her, will always resign their faith to whatever they see. Anything you tell them as a solution, it's just like a woman that is looking for a child. A woman that is looking for a child, anywhere you direct her and push her to, she will go. She will go because she wants a child. But in a civilized world, people who are looking for children don't behave that manner. There are so many ways you can be able to make yourself fertilize. If you try it doesn't work, you can adopt a child. There are so many children that are looking for parents. You adopt a child. You adopt it. It's not something you kill yourself for. It is not something you go and sleep with a man for. It's not something you go and sleep with a pastor. A pastor will sleep for you before you conceive. A pastor will tell you that he wants to put a holy seed inside you. A pastor will tell you you are looking for a fruit of the womb. A pastor will tell you that he wants to put a holy seed inside you. Sleep with a married woman. And you will accept because you want a child. Is that not foolishness? And tomorrow you want me to come and follow you to campaign against that pastor. You want me to follow you to fight against such pastor that he deceives you. Are you not deceiving yourself? You are deceiving yourself. And the thing that made this possible is the system. If it is in a system that is working, if such a person who wants a child go to hospital, they will give her the necessary advice on what to do. They will give her necessary advice and follow it up. She can adopt a child. If her womb cannot fertilize anymore after trying all medical things, all medical system doesn't work, you resign your faith, adopt a child. If miracle comes one day and you have a child, okay, but you don't kill yourself about it. You don't go and be sleeping with a doctor or a pastor because of that. You don't do that. Because you know it's stupidity. But in a situation where you see there is a system that is not working, everything is possible. People use when there is bad road. You know there is bad road. That bad road, and it is the bad road that is causing accident on the road. You know the major cause of accident in Nigeria is bad road, and you are playing against accident. Instead of you now going to repair the road, what people do every day, every December, you go to the church, you observe 7 days prayer against accident. You observe 7 days prayer against accident. But from January to December, there was no effort you were making to make sure that you repair those roads that are bad. No effort was put in place to make sure that the roads that are bad are being repaired so that people cannot get themselves hurt. You won't repair it. But when it goes to December, you will see people in their churches lying down and praying for God to remove accident. When you know fully well the cause of the accident, you know it very well. You know the cause of accident. And you will see these politicians who have stolen this money. They will still come in the church and give testimony and begin to tell them to pray against accident. And the next minute you see them changing it to a spiritual problem. They will tell you that it's because there is an evil spirit on the road. That is why accident is happening everywhere. They will tell you because there is an evil spirit on the road. That is why you're having accident. When you know very well that the cause of the accident is bad road. And on December period, people are traveling. So many people are going to their villages. In that time, there is traffic on the road. There is a lot of traffic during the December period. And in that time when there are traffic, there is a possibility that if the road is not good, people are going to have accidents. Then from January to November, you will not put those roads in place. You can't see them repairing. You can't see them in Mbamont. When you enter in Mbamont, you see the government repairing a road because they know people are traveling. You will never see that. You will never see that. And you will not see these people calling them out. It is only when it gets to December, you see them praying in the church, going to church to ask them to pray against accident. When you cannot be able to work against that thing that you know that is causing the accident. This is the system that is killing everybody in that country called Nigeria. It is the system itself. It is not the individual. If the system is working, everything will be in place. In so many foreign countries, in so many foreign countries, when you commit an offense, people, they don't need to chase you around and begin to lock you up and they don't need to chase you around. In developed country where you have system that is working, everybody have a data. And your data has your information. You know what you are enjoying in your country. They will take care of you if you have a problem. And if you are owing a debt or you misbehave, they know how to deal with you. They will take away those rights for you. You commit a traffic offense, they don't need to chase you. They just write it down for you. A day will come when you will go to demand something from the government, you will pay from your nose. You pay all those money before they will attend to you. But in Nigeria, what do you see? There is no system that is working. No system, no plan for the citizens, no plan whatsoever for the people. And you want these people you don't have a plan for to be patriotic to you. You will see them talking about patriotism. How can you be patriotic to a system that is killing you and making sure that you don't survive? How can you be patriotic to such system? A system that makes sure that everything you are doing never works. A system that is against everything that you stand for. How can you be supporting that system? How can you be protecting that system? Don't be distracted. Do not be distracted. The common enemy that we have is the Fulani Janjaweed. And when we are talking about the system, they are the ones whom the British have handed over this evil system to make sure they keep everybody down. To make sure they keep everybody down. And because this evil and corruption in the country called Nigeria is serving the purpose of the British and the Americans, they will never fight it except you fight it. They won't fight it. Do you think that the British and the Americans don't know what is happening? They know that evil that is happening in the country called Nigeria. They know it. They know it, they see it, but they cannot do anything. If you do not fight for yourself, they won't fight for you because the corruption in Nigeria is paying their own bill. The corruption in the country called Nigeria is paying their bill. It is because of the corruption in Nigeria. That is why you see the Queen living a flamboyant life. And the same thing is happening to many African countries. African countries are rich, very, very rich. They have anything you can think of. But because they have handed over their destiny to some foreigners, they have handed over their destiny to foreigners. That is why nothing works. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. Nothing works whatsoever. Nothing works. And they cannot fight for you. If you are waiting for any foreign forces to come and fight for you, they will never ever fight for you because they have an interest to protest. Are you blaming them? You don't blame them. The world we are living in is survival for the defeated. You have to fight for your own survival. The world we are in is a fight to finish. If you don't fight for yourself, nobody's going to fight for you and nobody's going to protect you. You need to fight for yourself and protect yourself if you want to be saved. That is the situation in the contraption called Nigeria. And this is why the Biafrans are crying and shouting on top of their voice and demanding for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will continue to demand. We will continue to ask. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. We will continue to demand for what is right. We will continue to make our demand. We will continue to make the demand. You can call us name, call us whatever you want to call us. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It can't stop anything. It can't stop anything. No matter what you call it can't stop anything. We will continue to make our demand. Demand for that which is right. The system in the contraption called Nigeria is not working and will never ever work. It will never ever work. And you think they are talking about the political solution? Political solution cannot end. Is not for Biafra. Political solution is not for the freedom of Biafra, mind you. I will remind you that again and again. Political solution is not for Biafra. It's not for the common of Biafra. When you see people who are talking of political solution, go and discuss with them properly. You will see that what they are pursuing is Igbo presidency. And let me tell you, if Igbos get this presidency, that is when you will see what is called destruction. Igbos will face more destruction than ever. If they succeed in getting this Igbo presidency, that is when the Igbos will suffer more, much than they have ever suffered. So if you know what is good for you, do not involve in anything that has to do with Igbo presidency. Don't get yourself involved. Continue to speak on the path of freedom. Continue to stand on the path of freedom, the freedom of the people. That is the right thing to do. Anybody trying to promise you and tell you that Igbo presidency is going to make things change, Igbo presidency will get things worse. Igbo presidency will make things worse than ever. It will make things worse. You're talking about Igbo presidency. Our Ududua brothers have had presidency for 8 good years. The Biafrans have a president, Goodluck Jonathan. He was there for 6 years. You saw what they did to him? You see how they pushed him out? You see how they pushed him out? As long as you are still going to work with this very deadly constitution, as long as you have been appointed based on the corruption, as long as you have been appointed based on the false foundation, there is nothing you can change in the contraption of Nigeria. You can only begin to see change when this contraption is being destroyed completely. Every indigenous tribe go their separate ways. Form a nation that they can be able to defend. That is why we are asking for self-determination. And self-determination is not a crime. Self-determination is not a crime. It's supported by international law. Self-determination is also supported by African chartered law. Self-determination is also supported by Nigerian law itself. We are not asking for war. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never called for war, and he's not asking for war. What he's asking is for freedom for his own people. Self-determination. That is what we're asking for. Through referendum, not through war. Through referendum. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been standing on it since he started broadcasting up to date. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an ethnic bigot. He is not a hater. He doesn't preach hate speech. He is passing the right message. And if you feel that whatever he's saying is not right, go and make your verification. You'll be convinced that everything he's saying is right. That is why he was able to broadcast for so many years in London itself. From London, so many years. He was never invited anywhere for interrogation. He was never arrested. He travels to all parts of the world. He was never arrested. Until Janjaweed went and connived with Kenya. Again, another African country. Africans for allowing themselves to be used by the devil. Kenya went and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for committing no crime. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu entered Kenya with his British passport. He was stamped in. Yet they went and kidnapped him and renditioned him to Nigeria. And today, you see what we are facing. He is in DSS, suffering in DSS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu suffered in DSS, nobody to speak for him, nobody to stand for him. And we are asking you to protest and sit at home for only one day to air your opinion. You say it is too much. You think it's too much to ask? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given everything, including his life. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had a wonderful life. He's a prince. He lives in the UK. He has a British passport. He's very educated. He has a job. And yet, he gave it all. He has a very beautiful wife with wonderful children. He left them and he continued to fight for you and I. Today he's in captivity, in the hand of the enemy. And we are telling you to sit at home to demand for his unconditional release. You say it's too much to ask. You say it is too much to ask. Well, wait for it. It is coming. Wait for it. You don't want to add your own voice. You don't want to speak up. You don't want to share the video because he's not your brother. You don't want to speak about it because he's not your brother. You don't want to speak about it because he's not from your tribe. You don't want to speak about it because it doesn't affect you directly. You don't want to speak about it because it's not a religion. Wait for it. It's coming. Wait for it. When the terrorists started their attack in the north, people thought it was going to end in the north. They were killing people in the southern Kaduna. In the northern part of Nigeria, these Fulani Janjaweed, Fulani terrorists were killing the Christians in Kaduna. On different occasions, on daily basis, people were going about their business as if nothing happened. They didn't talk about it. People pretended that they are not seeing it. Kaduna people were mowed down. Then they left Kaduna. They came to Benue State. They were killing people in Benue State. Terrorists were killing people in Benue State. People were not speaking about it because it is not their business. It doesn't affect them directly. It doesn't affect them directly. They were going about their business. Benue was shedding tears. Blood was flowing in Benue State. People were going about their business. They left Benue State and they went to Enugu State. These same Fulani killer herdsmen, these terrorists, went to Enugu State. They massacred Enugu people, killed Enugu people on different occasions. People kept silent. It's not your city. It's not your town. It's not your village. It doesn't concern you. They went to the southwest in our Oduduwa land. They went to Oduduwa land. They killed people. They mowed people down. They even sent people exiled. People from Oduduwa are today in Benin Republic as refugees in a country where there is no war. You didn't talk about it. You didn't speak about it because it is not your people. It doesn't affect you directly. It doesn't affect you directly. Today, everybody is having their own share of it. Everybody is having their own share of it. Do you know who he's going to be tomorrow? As you and I are watching this video, do you think, are you sure we're going to have the opportunity to watch it again tomorrow? As you're watching this video, are you sure you are going to have the opportunity to watch it again tomorrow? The victims you see yesterday were the survivors the day before yesterday. The victims you see today are survivors yesterday. And some of us who are survivors today will be victims tomorrow. That is why you have to speak. Speak louder than ever. Use every means possible. Every medium you can use. Use it to speak and cry out for what is happening in the country called Nigeria. It is not well. It is not well. The earlier you begin to speak, the better for you. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that have contributed in this very broadcast. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that have watched this broadcast. Please share the video. Share the video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Share it to your Facebook, your WhatsApp groups. Any group where you belong, share the video. Begin to speak to the people. Don't get distracted. Don't allow them to distract us. They are trying by all means possible to distract us. Don't allow them to distract us. They will not succeed. It doesn't matter how they try. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every Biafrans. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every Oduduwans. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every Middle Beltans. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect Sunday Igboho. Wherever Sunday Igboho is, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect Sunday Igboho. Secure him. Deliver him and grant him security so that he can come back and continue the struggle. We commit our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into the hand of Chukwu Okike. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Protect him, secure him, give him security, give him good health. Bring him back to us very soon so that we can continue the struggle and get our victory. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect and bless every hand that has shared the video. Everybody who has spent their time with me here on this broadcast, Chukwu Okike will prosper you. Chukwu Okike will bless you. Chukwu Okabia will continue to lead you in the path that you shall go. May Chukwu Okabia be glorified all time in our life. Every Biafran in Biafra land, you will never lose your life. Everybody that is watching this video, you will walk into Biafra alive. The killing is enough. They cannot continue to kill us. But if they choose so, they will kill us. We will kill them. But at the end of the day, Biafra will definitely come. No man born of a woman can stop the coming of Biafra. And that is why I tell you that they cannot stop the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He must surely be released. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will definitely be released. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter the angle they are coming from. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will surely be free. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. And remember this. See you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okabia. I'll try to come online again to speak to us and to set the record straight. Thank you so much. And remember this. See you.
Thank you.